Nammo Adida. Good morning. Thank you for joining me for our daily practice check-in for May 18th, 2020. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The first wonderful precept. Aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I vow to cultivate compassion and learn ways to protect the lives of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I'm determined not to kill, not to let others kill, and not to condone any act of killing in the world, in my thinking or in my way of life. We're still reading Ajahn Sucitto's book, Kamma and the End of Kamma. This morning, the section, The End of the World. This world is the interdependent realm of cause and effect. Most intimately, my world is bound up with designations and consequent responses. It is the process of Kamma, and it does keep going on and on. The reminder from the Buddha is that you don't get to the end of our own upheavals until you've got to the end of your world. Moreover, the teaching is that this doesn't happen through running around the world, running away from it, or creating another world, but through contemplating names and forms, and penetrating the basis on which they arise. We can have some say as to how we experience sense contact in terms of how we attend and how we respond. We don't have to seek out or absorb into every sight and sound, and if the mind is centered, we don't have to react. It all depends on how we cultivate our minds. This cultivation is the Kamma that ends Kamma, the hinge that turns towards awakening. To take a simple example, we can cultivate reflection on how things happen and their results. When we do this, we gravitate towards operating ethically in the world. In this respect, other animals don't have so great a capacity. Humans can develop radically in terms of generosity, kindness, and clarity. Although we can butcher other creatures and even humans quite mercilessly, we also create organizations to care for the sick and those in need, including other creatures. One change, then, is to live in accordance with empathic values. It gives our lives a richer meaning. Cooperation and friendship depend on such values. Certainly, none of us would have survived birth without a great deal of help from other people. And now that we're sharing the planet with an increasing number of people, it becomes increasingly important to dispel conflict by developing ways of cooperating. To keep thinking purely in terms of how much I and mine can gain, while ignoring or abusing others, is a threat to planetary existence. The path to the end of the world entails handling the karmic energies of our minds with right intent, right speech, action, and livelihood, as well as in meditation, in all aspects of the Eightfold Path. Much of the Buddhist teachings are based on generating good karma in daily life. Firmly establishing purity of intent in terms of the world is a basis for liberation. This is because relating to people and duties and so on gives good results. You find that if you bring forth purity and don't ask for anything in return, it ends your stress with regard to the world. Then you can live with self-respect and equanimity. You're not caught up in the success, failure, praise, blame, pitfalls of the world. You really get to know and see through these, which doesn't always happen when you work on the internal level alone. In meditation, the demand for improvement, the trying to get it right, doesn't necessarily get seen as a source of stress. But if the success-failure assessment isn't seen through, it gets internalized as a nagging critic, an inner tyrant who continually berates us over not being good enough, or demands a spiritual payoff. How long is it going to take me to get it? That's the world arising right there, and it doesn't end by following it. In all cases, internal or external, ending stress occurs in accordance with the degree with which one can give up concern over self-image. This is what is meant by purifying the intent. It means letting go of that self-seeking that sets us up for a fall. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu. 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 Thank you for joining me this Monday morning, and I hope you have a very lovely day.